Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with my Sims 4 House Renovation series collaboration with CharXP here on YouTube. Her channel and video will be linked down below, so definitely check that out if you guys are interested. So today we completed this second level of the house. There are 3 levels total. As I said, there is a basement level as well. But in the last part, we just did the very first portion of this level, and today we're finishing up with the second portion, the 2 bedrooms. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So I decided to go ahead and start off with the larger bedroom, which has this additional little area back here, which originally was a computer / office area, but I decided to turn it into a kind of like a vanity dressing room for the woman of the house, because I just figured it would fit really well, because it just so happens the household that's currently inhabiting this house for me is, you know, the head of the matriarch of the family is very much a self-absorbed person. So I could definitely see her having a fabulous closet and dressing space. So I wanted to kind of turn this room into that for her. I struggled at first with what kind of setup I wanted it to have, you know. I really wanted to have some countertops where she could be doing her makeup and things of that nature, but I couldn't quite figure out how to get the counters to work for me and like that island style counter. But eventually I did get it. It took me a minute, but I did get it. And I basically made this little back wall desk, kind of makeshift desk for her, and I recolored a few times. A lot of things get switched up as I go along. The finished product is a little bit different than how it gets set up at first glance, but at first I decided to kind of go with this peachy brown color scheme. It eventually becomes more of this pink gray color scheme, which I actually really like. Some people probably won't like it as much, but I really enjoyed it. At this point, I'm just looking for things to decorate the countertops with, try and make it really look like a lived-in space and not too clean, not too organized, you know what I mean? Wanted to have a little bit of madness to the order, I guess. And I do wind up putting some shoe racks and some clothing racks in the room, which took me a minute to find. Actually, I cut it out, but it did take me a minute to find. So I definitely put those in there. And then I was really just thinking about, what am I going to do with the walls at this point? You know, they're fairly bare at the moment, and it was kind of difficult for me to really figure out how I was going to warm up the space. And by warming it up, I don't mean just by color, but make it more cozy, make it more lived in, I guess. And eventually I do away with that back window altogether in preference, or in lieu of a really large mirror piece. But I don't do that for another second or two. This right here, I decided to put a little runner rug in there because I feel like it breaks up the space and it really distinguishes that back area as, you know, her getting ready. I don't know her vanity, I guess. That makes more sense. So as you can see there, I did kind of go with that gray color scheme a little bit more, and I really like it. You know, again, some people aren't going to be crazy about it, but I think it works really well in the room. So, you know, it's all very feminine. Her husband doesn't really have a say in anything that happens in their house, and I was just kind of going along with that idea. Everything's going to be feminine and froofy and ruffly, because that's just the kind of person that she is, and she really does not care if her husband disagrees. So as you can see here, I start experimenting with some of these mirrors, and then I eventually do decide to go ahead and use these backlit mirrors, thinking they looked absolutely amazing. And I know I did layer them on top of the wall lights, but I didn't really mind that. I felt like it gave a kind of interesting effect. Some of you guys may be bothered by it, but I really think it works, and if you guys ever do use this house, you're welcome to take those out if you would like. So at this point, I moved on into the actual bedroom space, and as you can see, it's very dark in the room, but I really enjoy creating contrast whenever I do any kind of artistic situation, whether it be like makeup or decorating. I like there to be a lot of contrast between the light and the dark. So the walls and the floors are very nice, cool tone, muted brown, while all of the decor and the furnishings are going to be very light in color. As you can see, the bed is white and light pink. And then I did put these kind of lighting fixtures, which came with the spa day pack, against the wall. I thought it worked so cool to kind of break it up in there a little bit, you know. I really wanted, I knew there had to be something to draw the lightness into this room, but I still didn't want to, you know, make another statement wall, you know, with a wallpaper or something like that. I wanted it to be more tactile than that. I wanted it to be something you could put your hands on. Not that you can't put your hands on the wall, but you know what I mean. You guys get me. So at this point, I'm really just trying to find things to decorate the bedroom, looking at different floral accents. Again, super, super girly and feminine. But I just really like it. And I really like how all the fixtures came out. So at this point, I'm just adding more structural pieces, such as standing lights, wall lights, things that are kind of unnecessary because the room is lit plenty well enough, but I wanted to give, you know, it's hard, the room kind of absorbs the light a little bit because it's so dark, just the bones are so dark of the room that you can add all this light without it getting blinding and in your face, you know? So again, just looking for more decorational items to bring a little more life to the room, but still keeping it real crispy clean and white. And I'm gonna just add some clutter items. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Just gonna add some clutter items to the dresser just to make it seem, again, a little more lived in, a little more cozy, a little more like people actually utilize this area and it's not all there for show, which can sometimes happen in The Sims because, you know, nothing really ever gets cluttered. So I love the fact that The Sims 4 gave us a massive amount of just items that are there for the pure purpose of cluttering up an area. So the last thing I kind of do in this room, or the last couple things I do, is add that rug feature there to kind of, again, break up the space and really define the space a little bit more, and also bring more light into the room. And then I go through several different wall fixtures before I finally settle on one, which I do settle on this wooden heart piece, and I make it white, and I think it's just perfect because, you know, the bedroom is there. That's the master bedroom pretty much, and it is their special place. So at this point, I am now working on the second room, which, since this particular family has one daughter, I wanted to create a young daughter at that, by the way. I wanted to create a nice child to teen room. At first I made it a little bit too childish, so what you see right now is literally going to completely disappear here in just a second, and I do wind up cutting out some of that because I don't want to spend like 15 years going through, because that's literally this whole video took me like 45 minutes to record, but I've crunched it down to 12 minutes for you guys. So at first I kind of wanted to do a dresser effect, but then I decided to go with a desk instead. As you can see here, 2 seconds. It was nothing major, just so that you guys didn't have to watch me switch through 15 billion different things. So at this point, again, just trying to give the room more of a feel that it's a space that is lived in, that is, people exist here. And so I'm adding a kind of juvenile looking coat rack, or not coat rack, but I can't think of it, just hanging rack. And then I'm adding some clutter to her desk as well to make it seem like more of a teenager's desk, because I don't know what teenagers you know that are completely organized, but I don't know any teenagers who are organized. And takes me a few minutes to decide on the stuff that I really want to fill up that space, because I felt like this room was very bare and I really couldn't quite figure out how to effectively make it as cozy as I wanted to. But eventually I do fill up the space and it does seem to come together pretty well in the end, so I hope y'all will like the end result. Just a few more minutes of stuff here for you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself off there. The video, you should be able to watch a little run through here in just a minute or two. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Mwah. Bye, guys.